Why are white rural voters a threat to democracy at this point?
They're the most racist, xenophobic, anti-immigrant, anti-gay geodemographic group in the country.
Anti-you,
Second, they're the most conspiracist group. QAnon support and subscribers, election denialism, COVID denialism, and scientific skepticism, Obama birtherism.
Tough word.
Third, anti-democratic sentiments. They don't believe in an independent press, free speech. They're most likely to say the president should be able to act unilaterally without any checks from Congress or the courts or the bureaucracy.
There's so much to get through there. I mean, every single thing they said is and we'll provide all the references as we always do. Link in the description, or you can go to loudwithcrowder.com. False. I am enraged. You should be enraged today. Certainly. Well, you should. Obviously, it's a victory lap, but know what's coming down the pike. It is enraging to see them trying to, let's be clear, wipe their ass with the Constitution. That is what the left is trying to do. And they want to guilt you because of your anger. Okay, so first step is try and get rid of the person who you want to vote for. Step two, if that doesn't work, is blame you for voting for him. So let's go to MSNBC authors Tom Schaller and Paul Waldman decided to promote their new book, White Rural Rage and Blame You for Everything.
Why are white rural voters a threat to democracy at this point?
They're the most racist, xenophobic, anti-immigrant, and anti-gay geodemographic group in the country.
Anti-you,
Second, they're the most conspiracist group. QAnon support and subscribers, election denialism, COVID denialism, and scientific skepticism, Obama birtherism.
Tough word.
Third, anti-democratic sentiments. They don't believe in an independent press, free speech. They're most likely to say the president should be able to act unilaterally without any checks from Congress or the courts or the bureaucracy. They're also the most strongly white nationalist and white Christian nationalists. And fourth, they are most likely to excuse or justify violence as an acceptable alternative to peaceful public discourse.
Okay, so first off, if I happen to be the person they accuse me of being a racist, xenophobic American, I wouldn't know which portion of that man to hate.
There's too many.
It's just, but I don't know.
Is he not white? Is he some kind of other religious ethnicity?
It could. I have no idea.
Is he a real Turk?
But I know I don't like him. So he's an old Turk, I guess. I don't know. So let me give you the population of rural white Americans. It's about 66 million in America. And I believe that white people make up about 75% of rural America.
That's terrifying.
In total. So we've done some pretty exhaustive research here. And I will tell you, as it relates to white rural Americans being the most dangerous among us, they might be onto something.
You know they always find some way to blame YD. Always find some way to hate YD.
I'm reminded why I hate rural
white guys. By the way, these two authors don't work for MSNBC. They just went on there to promote their book and to spew lies.
Yes, exactly. Well, they're welcome.
Yeah.
So let's go through some of the
Joe.
There's so much to get through there. I mean, every single thing they said is, and we'll provide all the references as we always do. Link in the description, or you can go to loudwithcrowder.com. False. So here's a claim that they make: white rural Americans racist, xenophobic, anti-immigrant, and anti-gay. The most of those things.
They're the most racist, xenophobic, anti-immigrant, and anti-gay.
Okay. The truth is, obviously that's not true. How did Barack Obama get elected? Without 43% of white voters voted for Barack Obama. And by the way, Obama outperformed Kerry by up to 12% in rural counties. So I know you'll say that's just the cities. No. Barack Obama did better than other Democrats, meaning that there were plenty of white rural Americans who were willing to vote for a black president who turned out to be an awful socialist with a man for a wife. And
allegedly.
Hey, she's a woman now.
True.
Allegedly.
My point is, back then they couldn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't have their Minority Report oracle who screeches the whole film and ruins it for the rest of us.
I still think she's a hot lady.
The other idea, she pulls off the short hair well. The other thing is enforcing immigration laws and the border. It's clearly not. This is how they mix words. They try and say racist and then anti-immigrant. Wait, hold on a second. Racist. All right. We can dispel that myth. Anti-immigrant. Hold on. Have you delineated between legal immigrants and illegal immigrants? They just toss it in there. Here, Bill Clinton himself state,
we are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
It only became racist to support legal immigration once the Democrats realized that they could buy votes. Also, by the way, we're not talking anti-gay. We just talked about Barack Obama. But now, let's think about this for a second. Donald Trump, love him or hate him, was the only president ever in the history of the United States to enter office as pro-gay marriage.
That's true. He has a long history being pro-gay marriage.
Barack Obama was against it until for political expediency, and he wanted to accuse all Republicans of being homophobic. Then he said, no, change my mind. Because I was getting all wee-weed up.
No.
What? So think about that. You got the first black president elected by white people, and then you've got the first pro-gay marriage president elected by white people. What they mean is you being anti-groomer, anti-drag queen story hour, anti-pornography books in school, anti-queer like me, books being read to preschoolers, that is anti-gay.
Showing sexual acts in graphic detail as cartoons for kids. That's what we're talking about right here. And by the way, gays are the most forgotten, oppressed class in the history of the United States. No one cares at all about gays anymore. It's the T at the end of the alphabet soup that we have concerns about because they're coming after our kids.
Yes.
But they add to the alphabet soup, and then by proxy, you hate them too.
No,
you have a problem with one thing. You don't hate, by the way. You have a problem with something that they're doing, and then all of a sudden, you hate that one group, and you hate all the other alphabets that go with it.
I will say this: I hate drag queens at schools.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
I do hate those.
Or libraries.
Yes. Yeah, or libraries
for kids. For kids and stuff.
Or the Burger King Kids Club.
Well, I don't mind it if you could just stay in your other costume and just teach history.
That's fine.
Or math or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring your bar life to the kids.
Yes, it's very fair.
How will they ever know me?
But you're all missing the point. Let's just blame Whitey anyway.
Always find some way to hate Whitey.
Yeah. Oh.
Mayonnaise.
Let's go.
Egg salad. I don't know. Whatever.
We smell. Foods. What is it? We smell like chicken. What is it that black people say?
No, we smell like wet dogs.
We smell like wet dogs.
That's what they say. We smell like wet dogs.
Maybe it's true.
They all. If you ask a black person that, they will laugh and because they. It's true. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to stop it, but
and I tell you what,
we do smell like wet dogs.
A lot of black men smell similar because they use the same products. And when I went to a barbershop, it's like coconut oil. In their beard and their hair. And so a lot of them have the smell of the product that they use. I'm sure white people use very similar hair products, and so we probably all have a similar scent. Mm-hmm. It's okay. The differences are beautiful. That being said, I will never put coconut oil and alcohol in my beard again like they did at the barbershop.
It's nothing.
Because I have a long line of Northern European ginger skin. So, but I appreciate the sentiment. I appreciate the sentiment. When I went in the barbershop, they were like, man, you gotta trim up your beard line. It's just letting it grow all however it does. So then they trimmed it, and then I was like, just don't put anything in it because I have like ginger sensitive skin. It's like, nah, just coconut oil and alcohol. I'm like, oh, those sound like two things that you can handle, and my skin broke out into oils.
Those are definitely things.
Like
I said
a gremlin's
those
back
are things
that got wet. All right, let's go to another claim. That rural whites are conspiratorial.
They're the most conspiracist group. QAnon support and subscribers, election denialism, COVID denialism, and scientific skepticism, Obama birtherism.
Before anything else, that man takes off his glasses, and I bet you it's...
I can only see your face.
He has no eyes. Yeah, those people, like in a cartoon. Here's the truth. No.
No.
QAnon is it was a small fringe group, not white rural America. There's a poll from NBC that found that more than 50% of the people polled had no idea what QAnon was. Only 3% at all had a favorable view of QAnon.
It's pretty stupid. Look, we've got some other data, by the way, on QAnon. Bring some of those things up that you were showing me about the racial mix-up. So the racial composition of QAnon believers and non-believers. White, black, Hispanic. There was another one that had Hispanic, black, and then white kind of in descending order there. There you go.
Oh, yeah, there you
Percent. Conspiracies is true. Hispanic and black people actually outweigh white people.
As far as percent, this is just at least one of the...
One of those conspiracies is true.
And by the way, wait a second. You mean that black people might believe that a system is rigged or that justice isn't always served?
I wonder.
There's also nothing wrong with... You have told them that systemic racism exists, and so they should be conspiratorial.
Yeah.
Let's be clear about that. Hold on a second. Just the fact that you view government as inherently perhaps untrustworthy. Have you been awake this morning? I mean, we want to go the other conspiracy theory that YouTube says is not a conspiracy theory anymore, the 2020 election denial. Well, hold on a second. It's legitimate to doubt when there have been no audits conducted, when they've changed their state constitution, when they try and disqualify a candidate as they're doing now in violation of the Constitution. And just to be clear, when people say, oh, all these cases that he lost, no, most of those 2020 election cases, they were thrown out. They weren't decided based on evidence. Only 31 of the 92 cases were decided based on merits. Also, President Trump and or the GOP representatives, by the way, they did prevail in 23 of those 31 cases that were seen on merit.
No one talks about that.
They say 61 cases thrown out. Yep. Hold on a second. What about the 31 where they actually got to the evidence and merit? 23 out of 31 is a pretty damn good ratio when you're dealing with courts. You can't get 23 out of 31 to convict a murderer who said, I did it. Conspiratorial? Hey, Hillary Clinton questioned the outcome of the 2016 election, just to be clear.
For how long?
Still.
Today.
Still.
What is today?
You know who else still? Other non-white person and planet, Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams, she still hasn't conceded the 2018 loss to Kemp.
Votes remain to be counted. There are voices that were waiting to be heard.
Is that the Abrams tank?
Across our state.
No, it's the lesser Abrams.
Of voters
Shit, my bad.
and absentee ballots. And we believe our chance
the
for
decoy.
a stronger Georgia is just within reach.
But don't forget this. It's the day democracy died. I heard this weekend. The day democracy died. Guess. Bush Gore.
What day was that?
In Florida. They're still going back to that, and that was an audited.
Yes.
How many times, too? It was like 3 or 4 times, right?
And it was done very quick. It's weird how you can get these things done very quickly when you need to, other than like Pennsylvania counting votes for 20 days or so and after the election, whatever it was. It's ridiculous.
They want to throw in there, right, an anti-science. Okay.
Oh.
Again, if you're going to talk about people who are anti-science, meaning the science that you establish, or if you want to talk about people who are just anti-vaccination in general, guarantee you the demographics, the racial demographics aren't going to line up how you think that they do. Okay?
Yeah, dude.
Because it's true, right?
Most of my black friends are not vaccinated.
No, of course not.
Wait, why would you say that? We didn't say a race.
I didn't say.
Nothing.
I ain't no bitch. No bitch.
Not a
Shingles and shit? I ain't no bitch. So what's objectively true, we don't have those numbers. What is objectively true is they're obviously meaning to suggest that if you are skeptical at all of the mass COVID vaccination rollout, and by the way, not just the vaccination, but of course the lockdowns, of course the mortality rate, the Imperial College of London study. Here's what's objectively true, okay? The COVID vaccination was not tested. The COVID shot injection was not tested like other vaccines. They changed, and by they, I mean the CDC, I mean established institutions, changed the definition of vaccine, just to be clear. That's from cdc.gov. Now, COVID, of course, was not fatal to most people, even though the policies were fatal to businesses. To be clear, it was a 0.03% death rate for those under the age of 80, something else that is completely undeniable. This is from VAERS. 171,000 Americans have reported adverse effects related to the vaccine in 2021. I don't want to bring you any information that I can't verify because these same institutions that changed the definition have no interest in actually studying the effects.
Right. And I believe that VAERS actually will say that the reporting system will actually say that typically it's around 1 in 100 actual cases is reported. So theoretically, you could multiply that by up to 100 times.
Right.
For the actual number of effects that have happened to people who have taken that.
They want to say the birther thing. I don't even really need to get into the birther thing. It's a vast majority. Americans were not on board with the birther thing. You know what? Here, yeah. I guess let's go to the next claim, and then we'll have to go to Mug Club because I know we've gone long with this ruling here today. And if there's new information, we'll also cover this on Mug Club. Yeah. The claim that they make here that rural whites. It's just so. You know, we were preparing this segment before the program today, and we were ready, sort of, in standby for the ruling to come down. And it's just amazing how these two mesh together. Where they try to say, again, today, this argument wouldn't work, but they made it a few days ago, that rural whites are anti-democratic authoritarians.
Anti-democratic sentiments. They don't believe in an independent press, free speech. They're most likely to say the president should be able to act unilaterally without any checks from Congress or the courts or the bureaucracy. They're also the most strongly white nationalist and white Christian nationalist.
Okay, before I hit the truth, just hit the truth tool, man. Look, I appreciate you being with us today. None of this happens. We have some investigative journalism pieces coming down the pipeline. We're going to continue for an hour. So if you want to join Mug Club, it's $89 annually. LoudWithCrowder.com/Mug Club. You can try it mugless for a month. You'll get this additional hour of show here today. You get Nick DiPaolo every day. You get Brian Callen. You get the Hodgkins, Mr. Gunsgear, Alex Jones on Friday, this program on Friday. And none of this happens. There is no free program, period, at all without your support. There you go. Well, you can hit the Rumble button right there and join as we continue to Mug Club and take your chats. But the truth here, and today this is important, it's obviously complete and total bull, right? Let me just give you the broad strokes. Conservatives, certainly everyone in this room who is reasonably conservative, libertarian, right-leaning, want smaller government, more states' rights when appropriate. They want less overall regulation, bureaucracy, lower taxes. Let's contrast this with the left. He just said that it's the American white, the rural white voters, and of course they also mean largely male, who want to censor the press. Okay, first off, you have people who are in positions of authority, right? The Bidens, the Kamala Harrises of the world, the DNC. They have persecuted political opponents, to be clear. They have attempted to pack the Supreme Court, and they will continue to attempt to do so. They have limited speech in what is permissible on public platforms, right? So that's the people in authority. There's no doubt about that. And you have not seen that from the right. But let's also, and I rarely do this, address the people who are voting for those in authority, meaning progressives at large in this country support policies. When we're talking about authoritarianism, you compare the right, lower taxes, less government intervention, freedom, as long as it's not negatively affecting someone else. The left votes for policies to determine what you eat, meaning whether you can eat meat, how much meat, the portion sizes of what you eat, what you drive, if it's eco-friendly, if you need an electric car, if you need a car that gets 30 miles per gallon or a hybrid, when you can fly, if you're talking about carbon offsets, you're talking about carbon credits that you can purchase, which of course can only be purchased by the elite, what kind of school your children can go to, because of course school choice is something racist, shut up you white rural voter, where you can bank or how you can conduct business because of all of these institutions who ban people simply because of their point of view, whether it's Shopify, whether it's Patreon, or banks freezing private individuals' accounts. And again, you look at what they would do if completely unfettered. See Canada with the truckers. How you can employ people, what kind of questions you can ask, what kind of level of propriety you can actually set in your workplace. Think they want to control every single aspect of your life as a matter of legislative policy at all points outside of not murdering a baby, in which case they're all about freedom, my body, my choice. It's the only exception. And drugs, black tar, heroin. But the good news is you have a lot of conservatives, libertarians who want to end the war on drugs as well. What you eat, what you drive, if you can fly, what school, what bank, what you have to provide to every single employee, even if it's a violation of conscience as far as birth control. Think about when they say that white rural Americans are authoritarian. Do you guys remember Michaels? This is back when Sandra Fluke was, talking about birth control. Michaels, I believe it was Michaels, or was it Hobby Lobby?
Hobby Lobby.
It was Hobby Lobby. Sorry,
yeah.
Hobby Lobby. It was Hobby Lobby provided, if I'm not mistaken, it was either 16 or 18 to their employees, methods of birth control out of 21. They said, we won't provide these other ones. We won't pay for them for our employees, even though we offer health insurance, because it's a violation of conscience. As a Christian company, we believe they are abortificants. The other ones, sure. 16 out of 21 or 18 out of 21 going by rote, and 100% certain that one of those numbers is correct. And the left says, you are an authoritarian if you do not subsidize 100% of every single form of birth control that we demand, even though we willingly took this job with this company, knowing the policy. And then they'll accuse you of being authoritarian. Hold on a second, wait a second, hold on a second. Conservatives say, yeah, hold on. We so believe in freedom of speech. We so believe that the digital town square needs to be kept open, that companies, that Rumble had to be created, and Elon Musk had to buy Twitter and turn it into X at the same time that Jen Psaki was calling on Spotify to censor Joe Rogan. You are such an authoritarian that today we bemoan the fact that the Supreme Court, in a 9-0 decision, stepped in and said, Colorado, you can't take the guy off the ballot who would win today. You're the authoritarian. You, the white rural male voter. Is anyone buying this shit? Is genuinely at this point, because I understand there are disagreements over policy, is anyone actually buying this shit in 2024 that the people in here are authoritarians and not The cavalcade of communists that you see on CNN right now, including, bring them up right now, Wolf, lowest score ever in the history of Celebrity Jeopardy Blitzer. If for no other reason.
Is that true?
It is 100% true.
That's so embarrassing.
Ever. Not only is he ideologically completely opposed to everything that you stand for here in the United States, if for no other reason you can't trust the ambassadors of the left because they're functional. Thank you very much, Rumble. We're going to continue this. I'm going to cool down. YouTube, if you're still there, piss off.
Watch Louder with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.